Hello guys, welcome back to the Shack. In here for another episode of Rolling Thoughts, and today I'm gonna approach a subject that, again, with the lack of real news going on nowadays, no racing, pretty much nothing going on. So everything that's been hitting the news pretty much has been just interviews or interesting facts. And today I bring another one. Um, First of all, I'm going to ask that if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I have a goal of making some live streams here on YouTube. It's something that I would really love, and if you like this content, please hit subscribe. I'm going to talk today about something that I think has been mentioned for quite a while, but it somehow became big again. Mostly in Spain, but all over Twitter and some news sites, I've seen Richard Carapaz's interview just talking about his departure of Movistar, which last year kind of sounded a bit abrupt, but with time we got to understand better and better. Start off, I say that I haven't seen the Movistar documentary actually. Maybe there were some loose details in there that I didn't see. However, I have the same amount of information with just about anyone besides of that, but lots of things that were said there obviously I have access to. So, the question is, why did Carapaz leave Movistar? Was it the right decision? What really happened there? And to really have it all, we gotta start from the beginning. Carapaz was hired to Movistar in 2016 as a trainee. At the time, Movistar had, well, as they did until last year, a big focus on South America, and Carapaz was a product of that search for South American talents. Pretty much, he came onto the team 2016. He had a pro contract, and so it remained until last year. 2017, he showed his talent pretty quickly, actually, in March. Correct me if I spell it wrong, pronounce it wrong. I mean the GP Industria, Industria y Artigianato. He was second there in a group with Adam Yates and Rigoberto Urán. So very early on, we could see that was a rider with big talent in there. But it still took a while to, not a while, but when you consider current standards, when riders in their neo-pro season are already winning, that happens with several riders actually. So I would say that still took a little bit of while, but end of Vuelta 2017 is the first time that I really noticed him. If I'm not mistaken, he had made a move in that Cumbre del Sol stage in the 2017 Vuelta that Froome won. That was the year that Movistar pretty much went to the Vuelta with no leader, no Quintana, no Valverde. I don't think Landa was in the team yet, but none of those. It was a team with youngsters. It included Soler, Pedrero, some of the climbers that pretty much spearhead the team's climbing abilities currently. And he had a good result in that season in Route du Sud. He was second after a successful breakaway on stage 1, and then he hung on in the mountains. He finished second behind Sylvain Dillier that year, and that was actually something really interesting that I never really approached. But Dillier as a climber really struck me out of the blue that year. That doesn't matter, however. In 2018, he went on to the Giro. I don't remember exactly with which role, but after he had won the Vuelta a Asturias in early March, he went on to finish 4th in the Giro. It was a massive breakthrough result. He was fighting with Miguel Angel Lopez the whole Giro for the white jersey. He finished 4th. He was consistent. He was strong. He won a stage to Montevergine, missing the name, but it's to Montevergine very early on the race. Quickly, he showed himself a big talent in the World Tour, but maybe more in the World Tour than in Movistar itself, which kept being broadcasted over the next few years. And he then went on to the Vuelta. He was a very good domestic for Valverde, especially in the final week. I remember seeing him in the stage to Naturlandia in Andorra. I think it was stage 19. He was there. He was important. Didn't result in a win, but a teammate's a teammate, and he was doing his job. And then in 2019, he had a very similar build-up to the Giro. He had a lot of racing, but not a lot of results. But then he went on to Asturias, and Ian Landa completely decimated the field. He won the race again, actually, and then he went on to the Giro. The Giro 2019, and it was such an impressive race that it almost hurts how undervalued he was at the time, and he still is, really. It was the race between Roglic, Dumoulin, and Nibali pretty much at the start, with Lopez as a threat, always. It's incredible how he crashed in stage 3, he lost almost a minute there, and then on stage 4 was that stage where there were crashes near the end. Maybe it was the one that Dumoulin crashed, I'm not sure, but I remember that it was definitely the stage where Simon Yates and Mikel Landa had a clash, and there was a lot of discussion over that. And he did a strong time trial, and when the mountains began, well, on stage 12, Landa was really strong. He attacked with Lopez on the stage to Pinerolo, so Movistar right there showed a big move. Landa was strong, although he had lost a lot of time in the time trials. He was there to contest the mountains. And the next day to Lago Cerro, it's really impressive. So Movistar attacked, Landa did. He bridged across the teammates, and he won a big amount of time that day. And it's incredible how everyone was focused on the Nibali-Roglic battle. Carapaz attacked the both of them. He went away. He won more than a minute on them, and he really put himself up there. He was there, and he showed that he was there to win the Giro, not just fight for the podium, not just for the white jersey. I don't think he was in for the white jersey, actually. I don't really remember that factor, but he was there and he was strong. And on the next day to Courmayeur, he attacked on a Col de San Carlo. He took the pink jersey. He won almost 2 minutes over the Nibali group, and it was amazing. It was a brutal performance by a rider that he had some strong showings, but he was far from a star. He was far from a top rider by pretty much everyone's considerations, and it's incredible how then he kept his own during the rest of the Giro. His team was there. The team was strong. The team was motivated. Landa was as well, but Carapaz just showed tremendous leadership capabilities on his own, pretty much. He never cracked. He never really had any bad time, except for that crash on stage 3. So in the Mortirolo, he kept his own. He worked with Nibali to gain time on Roglic. On the stage to Como, in the Civiglio, it was the same situation. He worked with Nibali to distance Roglic, and then Nibali never managed to gain time on him. Carapaz really played his strengths very well. In Antols, in San Martino di Castrosa, didn't lose any time whatsoever to Nibali and Roglic, and then on the Queen stage to Croce d'On, again, flawless. Really, nothing could be brought to him. And after he won the Giro for Movistar, it was the first Grand Tour since 2016, I think, and with Quintana already rumored to leave, Landa unhappy with how everything was going on, and Valverde, well, I wouldn't say declining, but being 39 or 38 at the time, I don't recall. Carapaz just had, it was in there, like it was perfect. The team setup looked perfect. An Hispanic rider in a Spanish team, the sponsors love him. He did everything to go right. So how did it all go wrong? Movistar just imploded. Quintana left for Arkea, Mikel Lando left for Bahrain, and those two were expected to leave. But Carapaz leaving completely destroyed Movistar because Valverde this year hasn't been at his best. It's possible that he's finally showing some signs of decline. Marc Soler is struggling to fulfill the expectations that he's been creating over the last few years. And Carapaz seemed perfect, like a perfect team leader. And the team lost him. The team just lost him. And it's due to some things. There are clearly disbalances in the team. There's the obvious leadership issue that's been going on for years and years. Quintana, Landa mostly, Valverde in it as well. There's been so much arguing, so much I'm missing the word. There's just so much controversy in that team, and it seemed like Carapaz wasn't excluded from that controversy because, if I'm not mistaken, in the documentary, Pablo Lastres accused Carapaz of being disloyal to the team, and at first glance, it kind of makes sense. Like it looked like the perfect team for him, but when you look in it deeply, it really isn't. Carapaz was clearly in a team that, despite his quality, he wasn't the leader. When you thought of Movistar, you thought, it's Quintana, it's Valverde, it's Landa, and even though Carapaz won the Giro, he didn't have a leader status. I can say that actively. Carapaz he wasn't the leader of Movistar, despite being the strongest rider. Not only a very strong climber, very punchy, his time trials were solid, he had everything in there. And the way he behaved in the Giro, the way he kept his own under pressure, is just impressive for a rider of his experience and age. And as we all know, he went to Ineos. I think there was some agent business going on in there. I don't really remember. It may make a bit of sense, but obviously it wasn't just the money that took Carapaz to there. And let's be honest, wherever he would go, he's a Giro d'Italia winner. He would have a big salary in any team. Every team could accommodate the salary like his. It's not like he's a top paid rider, like one of those in the top 3 or something. And he made his choice. He made his choice to Ineos. Another thing I remember for the Giro is it irritates me a bit, actually. Everyone, okay, not everyone, of course, but I just see so many people, even the articles were all about that. Like, how did Roglic lose the Giro? This is where Roglic lost the Giro. It's like it was all on him. It hurt a bit inside every time I watched that, because Roglic didn't lose the Giro. Carapaz won it. He won it fair and square. He won it even though he had a big mishap right in the beginning of the Giro. And he won it because he was the strongest rider. There wasn't a comparison in there. He was the strongest. And if he hadn't taken pink right on stage 14, he would have taken it later. I have zero doubts. He would have won it. Because he dealt with the pressure in a way that I wouldn't be expecting. And some riders can't do that. I've mentioned Fabio Aru in the last episode. I'm a very firm believer in that. psychological power and the pressure to deal, um, the the quality of dealing with pressure is very important in cycling. And okay, Carapaz went to Ineos, and probably all thinking, you leave Movistar because you don't have a leadership status. Why do you go to Ineos? Why do you go to the team that literally has the most controversy and the most debate over leadership issues? And it's really a good question. And I was thinking about that a little bit, and I think that I'm pretty sure that in Ineos they respect his value. In Ineos, there's a focus to develop Carapaz. They have, well, first of all, they have South American riders. They have Bernal. They have Ivan Souza. They have Brandon Brandon Rodriguez. I'm not. No, it's Brandon Rivera. I don't remember the name, but that young rider that's from the same city as Bernal. They have a history of the Anaus. They have lots of South American focus. The All the team staff has to speak Spanish. That's a fact. I am absolutely sure that every single person on Team Ineos speaks Spanish because that was a requirement to be a part of it because of their training camps in Spain that they do so often. And above all, Ineos also went to get Andre Amador, who was present in Carapaz's Giro win. He's another South American, and I'm pretty sure that they have very good relations. And Carapaz said it himself in the interview, and I quote, "I didn't have the opportunity to have a group adapt to me." And that's really the bottom line. Carapaz wasn't in Movistar as a leader. Movistar wasn't adapting him as a leader. Now Movistar has no one pretty much because, well, of course they have Valverde, but he's not showing good signs. Mark Soler has yet to take a step, and they don't have a sprinter, they don't have a classics rider, time trialist, puncher, they're kind of in the blue right now. Complete new team structure, diminished focus in South America, which is another of the reasons that let Carapaz out, I believe. It's just gone very bad for them, very well for Ineos. Carapaz set to be the leader in the Giro, defending champion. He's going to have a team there to defend him, zero doubt. And with Froome very likely leaving, he's going to have his space in the team because, to be honest, Geraint Thomas... Okay, no, I think Thomas is going to stay. Maybe not in the long term, maybe not in the long term, but in the medium term. Carapaz has enough quality to be a strict leader in any team whatsoever, and Ineos is no exception. So I think it's gonna work out. With Ineos, it's gonna work out. I have no doubt. It's interesting. It's interesting. I think that's everything that I have for today. There hasn't been a lot going on in the world of cycling at the moment. There's been some news of races, including mine here, the Tour of Portugal and the GP Torres Vedras. Before August, there is going to be racing. I hope, that is. We can never know. Until the day, we just don't know if it's going to happen. But it's great news. It's good to have the confidence that it's going to happen. At the moment, the HTV Cup is going on as well. I'm going to leave the link down below to HTV's YouTube channel. It's not easy racing to understand, but it's something, and it's something that we're not having for a long time. So I encourage you all to watch it. I hope you liked this one. I'll be here for the next episode.